Okay, right. Okay, I'm just working up, so the show's over to you guys.
Okay. Well, can I just say a big, big thank you to Be Live, considering the situation they're in at the moment, to keep the stream going. And I'd like to say I hope you're all keeping well and keeping safe because we know it's a real difficult time for our friends in Kiev. So
Totally echo everything you said, Peter. Um, to keep this service running, with everything that's going on around them, and with the Russians getting ever closer.
yeah,
Uh, thank you.
yeah, no problem. Now,
Yeah.
John, what say you about anything?
Huh? What's
Right,
that
okay.
about anything? Not
So,
a great deal. I
okay.
see that the Ukrainians have offered that the mothers can come and collect their captured soldier sons.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I've got to say, right, if somebody's listening in,
There might be.
uh, I don't think it's a good idea to show captured soldiers um, on video. It's not fair. We had it in our country where they
No.
were put in front of cameras with two uh, Air Force, well, a pilot and a navigator, and it actually doesn't. Although you think it shows you in a good light, to me it doesn't. Who knows what's going on behind the camera? MD will say anything to get the story across, but I really, if you can pass it on to MD, I don't think that's doing you any favors.
No.
As a as
Yeah.
an ex-soldier, I'm saying that if I'd been, I wouldn't like to be put on camera being captured. You're like a frightened rabbit. You don't know what's going to happen to you. And yes, I would have said anything, not for anything to happen. So, yeah. So this leads us on to the misinformation. This war, I'm going to call it a war. Uh, this has really brought the media and the information technology um, and whatever you'll watch. Obviously, there's two sides to the story, and to get their messages out. Now, I know that the Russians aren't getting to see anything, only what they want to tell them. Yeah, but there are various avenues out there. And you know what's sad for me? I know Russians in Aberdeen too. You know, I know one of my ex-employees is married to a Russian, and you don't want anything to happen to any of them. You know, it's a horrible thing. And but can I just say to anybody that is looking in, sorry, Stephen, is
Okay.
you if you go to BeLive.tv, is it BeLive.tv, Stephen?
No, it's be.live.
Be.live. If you go to be.live and have a move about their webpage, there are many, many, many links that you can donate to. Uh,
Yes.
I've I've picked one last night, and for kids, actually, to help kids. That's a link out, but there are many, many links you can choose to, and I would encourage you to go and have a look and do your little bit because every dollar, every pound will count to help people.
Okay.
Okay.
Has anybody noticed anything?
Yeah. How can we add 5 and 6 blocks up?
We've now got 6 boxes.
Yeah. Right.
That happened overnight. So not only are they maintaining the service, they're actually improving it.
That is good. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been using this much, but I've got it on YouTube now because I can't get it on Facebook. And I really will endeavour to get it used more.
Good.
because you're doing such a great job.
Right. Okay. I'm going to swap over, and at the top now we have the Guardian. So thank you to the Guardian for actually allowing us to share. Well, just thank you to the Guardian. Russian-Ukrainian Zelensky says defense lines holding against the onslaught. And this is the bit that I don't think Russia expected, is that the Ukrainian forces and the Ukrainian people would actually stand up for themselves,
Fight for
or be
the
able to. Yeah.
It's,
I mean, they tried shock and awe, didn't they, Peter?
yeah, but they didn't have the shock and awe. They didn't have the troops for it. I mean, what we're told is the troops were saying you're on exercise. Oh, by the way, you're moving in at the same time, because you never know. Some of them have deserted. There's talks of troops being left stranded. There's some. Did you see it? There was a funny video where a Ukrainian car was going along, and they came across what people call a tank, but it's not a tank, it's an armoured personnel carrier. And it was Russian soldiers standing there, and they said, "What are you doing?" And they said, "We've run out of fuel." All right. He says, "You want to tow back to Russia?" And even the Russians were laughing. They says, "You want to tow back to Russia?"
Right.
So there's still humour in a bad place. I think what the Russians have done, they talk about that big 40-mile problem. The Russians, they probably don't have enough fuel. They thought they would have taken it by now. And it's all down to resources behind the scenes. If they attack their supply line and get some special forces, if they've got any, to get into that supply lines, hit the first one, hit the rear one, then that'll make a big difference for them. You know, just ruin the supply line.
The Ukrainian Air Force could, as you say, technically actually attack that 40-mile convoy, couldn't they?
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't know if that. And as I told you last night, I happened to go in last night. One of the saddest things I've seen: two beautiful young women have actually lost their lives as Air Force pilots, and they were gorgeous. They were, they were honeys, and now they're dead. They got shot down, and that really got to me. They're so young looking, and what a waste. And there was even an old pilot about my age went back into the military, and he was an ace or something like that, and he's been killed too. I don't know if they've got an Air Force because nobody's mentioned it.
Yeah, they have, and they're saying. I mean, the West has the wherewithal to put a no-fly zone all over Ukraine, which would stop the Russians. Yeah, but it would also stop the Ukrainians. So they can't put a no-fly zone in favour of one side.
Right.
So the other thing is that what they don't want is for a British jet or an American jet to actually fight a Russian jet, because that would mean the opening of World War III.
Well,
so,
wouldn't it? Yeah, what they could do is loan jets to the Ukrainians and paint them in their colours. That's one way around it. It's not our pilots, it's their pilots, and we've loaned them it.
Well, that's kind of already happening, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, I think you'll find Poland has given them 28 MiG-29s, Slovakia 12, Bulgaria 16.
Yeah.
And Bulgaria's also given them 14 Su-25s.
Right.
Here's one question I want to ask you. Would he be mad enough to push the button?
Unfortunately, I think he probably is.
I was right last night. There was a vigil, peace vigil in Devizes from 6:30 to 7:30, and it was about just above freezing. And Angelica said, "Shall we go?" And I said, "Yes, I've never been to a vigil before. We'll go walk into town and we'll join the vigil." And that we did. There were about 300 or 400 people gathered in the town centre, and everybody was stood silently. Okay, it was just a silent vigil, and it was eerie because nothing was happening. I mean, the traffic was going by and people were going in and out of shops that were open, but it's just strange that there's so many people should get together to actually spiritually support the people of Ukraine. And there's a photograph of that which I'll try and find and show sometime in the broadcast. But there is support for the Ukrainians. I mean, we know from the vote in the UN, 140 countries backed them, and only 140 countries backed them, 34 abstained, and 5 voted against, including Russia and Belarus. And
Right.
for some reason, Eritrea. Okay, the Chinese have sat on their hands and said that we're not getting directly involved, we'll abstain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the support, as John said, the support in terms of hardware is just amazing. The countries can actually come together and do this. Now, the question that arises out of this is, can the Ukrainians save themselves? Just right, know where I'm going now. So out in the cold, came in, just settled down, just having a surf, and I heard this I heard this familiar voice, and I had no clue what tab it was coming from. I had several tabs open, and then I realised that I was in the Be Live studio on camera, and Peter was in the waiting area, waiting to come on camera. Yeah, and we finally got it together, Peter. But I was
It was me, because I've got your link, it goes straight in, but then I can go into host my own stream and I can go into YouTube, so I can bring people in and hopefully get this blooming Facebook sorted out. But I'll tell you what, remember I mentioned TikTok to you? Yeah? Now, TikTok has been great during this conflict. At the moment, there's 2 guys have left Britain in a car. Well, they rent a car and they says it's got to be back on Saturday, and they said the rental firm, "You won't be getting it Saturday, we're keeping it here." So they've loaded up with medicines and things, and they've been in touch with 2 people in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Some old lady or some old guy to go and get. But unfortunately, so everybody's watching them live. One of them's got a camera, and he's traveling along in the roads and everything. And they tried to get what they were fuming. They were gutted because the guy they were meant to pick up, they haven't heard from him. They kept in touch all the way. When they got near where they were going, he disappeared. They've not heard from him. So what they've decided to do is that they're not going to fight, but they're going to do what they can. Now, I maybe told you about a guy as well called Baldwin Bankrupt. Do you remember him?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, well, he lived in Ukraine and he was in Ukraine, and he's actually got his escape journey with all the people on the trains and everything back to Poland to get out of the country. And it was quite interesting seeing all the women, but there were some young guys as well on the train. Because remember, if you're 18 to 60, you're not getting out. They've conscripted you basically, and you could just see what was happening. And I'll tell you what, the Polish people have done magnificently well at the border for them. They've done a great job at the reception committee. So it's kind of taken my life over just now. It's really, I mean, would you go if you were a younger person? Would you go over there and fight?
That's a canny question. My heart, yes. My mind, I don't know. Yeah, I just can't answer that one, Peter. But
Okay. But
anyway,
a lot
blowing
of
for it. Sorry,
on you go.
blowing for it.
There are a lot of ex-British forces going there. They've packed up everything and they're away. They're
Yeah.
going. And remember, this happened in Spain as well. People went to help other people who were fighting a fascist. So it does happen, and that was a lot of people from the union and labour movements. Back to you.
I'm just looking around. All right, now this. I mean, the thing. This is really a fight for the right to be free, to be democracy.
Yeah.
And if we look at what's happening in Russia, Moscow police detain children for laying flowers that in Russia is being stifled. Yeah, so we're not getting to know
No.
basically what's
Yeah.
going on, apart from our foreign correspondence. In terms of that, there is a YouTube site, Peter, DK News, which is a German operation, and they're running 24/7 news about the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. I'll
Is
try
it
and find
is
out.
it in German or British?
It's in English, Peter.
Okay.
It's in English. I'll try and
I'll
find
just-
it.
I'll put
Okay,
it in a search just now.
right. Okay. I'm gonna go for broke here. I'm gonna share a second newspaper because I know I can. I'm just gonna see what happens. Okay, so we've been looking at the Guardian, which is based in Manchester in England, or it was, John. And now we're going over.
Sorry, I'll just interrupt. That come up as a Danish paper.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna find it in a minute, Peter.
Okay.
Let's.
No. So that's the Guardian's look. What are we watching next?
We're going to go to the BBC.
All right. Okay.
I think. Right. Okay. So the BBC News is saying first major city falls, and that's in the south, which is near to the Crimea.
Yeah.
So that's Russian forces coming out of Russian territory, which is Crimea, from 2014, and they're not actually. Basically, what they're saying is that there are no Ukrainian forces on the streets and no police on the streets. The only forces on the streets are Russian soldiers, but they're in control, but they're not actually doing anything.
Well,
If you see what I mean.
they're sitting there now. They've got that stronghold. Well, all I would say to them is enjoy your time, because if you think they're going to leave you alone, this is when counter-insurgency comes in, and what they will do is they will come in and they will hit you there, will hit you there. It won't be a full-scale attack. Some of these soldiers are going to be killed by the odd sniper, the odd bomb, and they'll always have to be on the lookout. Now, one of the things from this area is that I believe there have been some sleepers in there, Russians who lived in Ukraine, who are Russian, really, and their time has come. But I don't know what they're meeting for peace resolutions. They've categorically says we're not giving up your country, and there's no way that could Russia keep hold of the size of the Ukraine without having an insurgency war. No way. They just don't have the resources. But it's Belarus we've got to watch now.
It is. I agree, because they do have the resources and they're not involved at the moment.
Yeah. But one of the other things is one of these rich oligarchs, is it oligarchs?
Oligarch.
Some of them are not going to be happy. They've had their funding taken, their good life is over. Back to the old Soviet Union, where you will get one sausage issued a day because your money's stuck. Unless you go to China.
The world is.
I think they have a lot of money stashed elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but can they use it?
Yeah. I mean, that's it. The economic sanctions are hitting ordinary Russian people, aren't they? Not
Yeah.
oligarchs. The currency is devalued by 34%, the ruble. They have no access to certain websites. Certain websites have pulled their feeds from Russia.
Yeah.
Basically, that's a problem because, well, if they hadn't pulled them, they might have been blocked, Peter.
But here's the other thing. They don't have a McDonald's anymore. They've been pulled. So all those Western things that they like, their McDonald's, their Pizza Huts, their Marks and Spencers, I don't think they've shut yet. 20, you know, there's 24 Marks and Spencers in Moscow. It must be some size.
It must be. Must
Yeah.
be.
And so it's been quite interesting to see. But if there's one thing I think we should have learned now, and they're talking about it now, nobody likes the thought of fracking. Okay? Nobody likes the thought of, well, many people don't like the thought of fracking, but we really should be self-sufficient. And that's why our phone network, I know I've just bought a new iPad type thing or whatever you call it, but we really should be self-sufficient. I can't even get mouse traps. They're made in China. Did you know that?
Most things are made in China, Peter.
I know. Even the Americans get them made in China for them.
This is American. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to go me for a minute.
Yeah.
This is a Treblab HD77. This is American. Sold in America by Treblab. And do you know what it says on the bottom, Peter?
Made in China.
Correct. I've no doubt at one stage it was actually made in the USA, but it does say at the moment made in China. So yeah, even the USA has made the Chinese goods.
There you go. I'm going to, can I just get away from the situation? Or I'm going to tell you, because John will like this. I was away at a network meeting yesterday for the first time and met new people and etc. And I'm just looking at this and I picked up this facts. Well, I'm getting my website done and I'm getting review.io put into it. Okay. You know about that, John? Review.io. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I met this other girl. Build trust with better reviews. Now, his one isn't into one platform. You can go to two platforms and it belongs to you, right? So, here's something. 73% of consumers only pay attention to reviews written in the last month. Okay? I thought that was good. 87% of consumers read online reviews for local business. Only 40% of consumers would consider using a business with fewer than 4 stars. Yeah. Now, there was something in the paper, seemingly somebody told me this morning, one of my guys, that one of our restaurants had been getting the staff to write in reviews. And they've been found out, and it's in the paper. So what say you, John?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not sure reviews generate that much business, but
well, from my part, I watch using Clicky. They come into the front page. Where do they go next?
They probably go to read what other people think about you.
Yeah, they go to the reviews and then they go back to the contact number or web.
But how many of them actually turn into orders?
Well, we'll get quite a few actually. We know who's called in, etc. And I'm also on Google My Guaranteed. I didn't get in the other day because I hadn't shown them my new certificates of insurance and training. So I've done that last night. So it's a constant war trying to get your business up. But you say you get work from Twitter.
Yeah, definitely work from Twitter. Not me personally, but
Yeah, I know
clients
that.
work
Yeah,
from Twitter.
yeah,
Because you know you can target people on Twitter. You know, go and follow people who are in your marketplace. Now,
yeah,
the client I'm talking about has got a narrow focus marketplace, whereas
yeah,
you know, and he's selling stuff from a knife and fork at a couple of quid through
yeah,
to stuff at thousands of pounds, and we
yeah.
target chefs
Yeah. So
because
I
most
just,
chefs decide
yeah,
what goes in the kitchen.
that's correct. So what I'm thinking with chefs myself, I don't want to go and say, here, I sell this, I do this. I want to get involved with them and give out information as such, you know?
Shall I tell you, what time of day do you think the chef type marketplace, hotels, etc., go and look at social media?
1 in the morning?
You are quite correct.
Yes.
After the
Yeah,
kitchen's closed, the washdown's done, the
yeah.
chef will have or his staff and appropriate people will spend a little while winding down by going on
Mm,
social media.
yeah, yeah. You didn't think I would know that, did you? Huh? Do you know, I'm working so hard in my marketing at the moment, you know? I just don't know what to do next.
Mm.
Well, I got my thing working from my shoulder. Uh, my friends cut it down so it can do 12 hours. Right, here's Stephen back. Yes, Stephen.
I'm back. Yep. No, I just went off to Unsplash and found a background from Kiev.
Oh,
Um,
good.
just to show solidarity. Yeah, it's not DK News. I misremembered, Peter. It is DW News.
Oh, yes, I actually follow DW. I know what
All right. Okay.
it's quite a
Okay.
good website, actually. They do German teaching as well on it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do that. Do you know? Oh, I can't change my background. I was going to do that as well. And it's Kiev.
Yeah,
Kiev?
Kiev.
yeah.
Kiev.
Kiev is the Russian
Russian.
pronunciation. Kiev is the Ukrainian pronunciation.
Kiev. Do you know who I
Kiev.
feel sorry for? There are people in Ukraine, in the border areas, married to Russians, and are Russian people
Oh yeah.
married to Ukrainians.
Right. Okay. Some
What a
some stats.
difference.
Some stats. Then we have in the UK 100,000 Ukrainians living here. In
Yeah,
France, they have 200,000. In Germany, there are 3.5 million Ukrainians living in Germany,
right,
and more in Poland and countries surrounding. But a lot of people, a lot of them do seem to be in Germany.
right. Hmm,
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
it is.
As I
Yeah.
say, we've got a bit of a. They've told us here in Aberdeen to stop giving donations in clothes and stuff. They've got enough. This is all we want you to do now is help us get fuel to get us over there, etc. So that's what they want in my area, and Aberdeen had a vigil as well down at a place
Oh, yeah.
a Castlegate. So we've got quite a lot of Eastern Europeans in the city now. I think there's somebody said in one area there's 2,000 Latvians in the city. You know, so we've got a fair share now. Now, one of the things I was watching down in Folkestone area, the lorry drivers for Ukraine trying to get back to their country, they can't get back. They've no
Yeah.
fuel, they've no money, their bank accounts have been stopped, etc. So a lot of local people are going in to help them with food and everything, but most of them went back to fight for their country. That's what
Yeah.
they want. They just went back uh, to their families and take up arms. That's what they
Yeah.
said. Where to go back? So they're stuck down there, and isn't it great when people can get together to help? You know.
It is. It is the community coming together. And I'm going to bring this in.
Yeah.
Just for a second. And I'm going to put it where John is.
Okay.
Sorry, John. Okay. And this is the website, isn't it, Peter?
Yeah. DW.
DW.
Very good documentaries there.
Yeah. I'm just going to. I've got the photo there. Let's see if we can play.
By 141 out of 193 member states, with only 5 countries voting against. The fourth vote Ukraine's ambassador to the
UN. I'm not going to play too much for it. One, because I'm not sure what was happening with the sound, and the second, obviously, it's for copyright reasons. But I think it's Peter is better than Sky for actually being informed. It's obviously closer. The Ukraine.
Well, I watch GB News most of the time, and it's not the one that you think, because they get both sides on for their opinion, and it can be quite interesting at times. No, they've got a lot of. It's actually, to me, it's actually Sky as it used to be, and if you ever look into it, right, you'll see all the Sky presenters that have suddenly turned up, like one where the woman love him. What's a guy from the Northwest? I've forgotten his name. He's on at weekends with Anne Diamond now. Do you know Anne Diamond? Remember her?
I remember Anne Diamond, yeah. I think John remembers Anne Diamond too.
Yeah. So they're on at the weekends, and Stephen, so it was you would have been the great, a nice, polite man in the world. He's like him, and then Mark White, who he filmed me in Aberdeen. He left Sky, and now he's the political correspondent. So you'd be amazed how it's changed, you know. And of course, the big one was Eamon Holmes moving over. He brought so many people over to them, you know. So it's quite interesting to see the change.
Indeed. Do you know what the viewer?
I don't know. Have a look. Put in a while here. John's good at it, but it is went up. And what I'm looking at is the adverts are coming in now, because some people said they wouldn't do it. But if a fair whack of the people went away, would you give it a rethink if that was your customer base? You know, I mean, I'll tell you now, I like a good shave, but the product I will never use again is Gillette. What's that?
Just a minute. I'll go back to my normal background and
put it in front of you. Put it in front of you.
I'm trying to do. Hang on. I need to close something, Peter. I'll be there. I'll be with you in a second. Okay. Now I can do this. Okay. Now I can do this. I'm going to go full screen.
Okay.
Okay. This just Peter's gone against Gillette. We're split 50-50. I got this razor yesterday. I'll be showing it on Amazon Live later today. I've got to say, quite honestly, this is the best razor Gillette have done. It just simply works. And it works simply. And it was on special offer in Superdrug, so why not?
Yeah. Well, I
didn't bother with them.
This is not sponsored by John Upton. Well, do you know what?
Oh, Gillette.
I've saved myself a fortune by putting on cream before. I buy them off Amazon, actually. Creams, pre-shave, post-shave, and I use a cheap razor now from Lidl's, and I can use it for ages. You take a toothbrush, remember I told you, and you clean a toothbrush, and you are going to laugh at this. I actually used the wrong toothbrush one day and brushed my teeth with my own cleaning toothbrush. And it saved me a lot of money. But there you go. So that happened a while back, and they lost a lot of money because of that, Stephen. You know,
lost a lot of money?
Yeah, their shares plummeted because of it.
All right.
It was an advert. It was basically, you know, I got offended with the advert, you know, and so did many others. As much to say, I can't remember even. I watched it and it says I took every Gillette product and I binned it. And I did. I binned it. And I went out and bought the other stuff.
Okay.
So, anyway, that's me. In my liberal view.
Yes. Okay. What? Anything else happening in the UK at the moment? Anything? We're promised. Well, Scotland and the north of England and the Midlands are promised snow next week.
All right. Well,
Just so you know.
I looked on Facebook this morning, and my memories is of 4 years ago is of quite extensive snow. Yeah, people struggling to get up the hill. So
yeah.
Would you like to, can you screen share that, John?
my Facebook memory, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
This has been the world. This has been the worst year past year for me regarding cycling has been terrible, and I've put on weight. I had to go in and get trousers taken out the other day to go to this meeting, and he's taken them down too much, so I've had to put on galluses. Do you know what galluses are?
No, we're about to find out.
Scottish name for braces.
All right.
Galluses. I felt like a clown. No, the clown has got them with the white trousers at the top, because when I took the braces off, the trousers fell down. It cost me 30 quid.
I've definitely lost some weight.
All right.
The trousers I'm wearing today, I'm having to go 2 notches further in on the belt. Otherwise, as I walk along, I end up showing my rear end to people.
All right. Okay. Wow.
In other words, builder's bum, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was being polite.
No, but cycling's made a bet. I done 25 every second day. I become ill. I done 25 mile on Monday and 21 on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I says to my pal, I says, look, I didn't mean to do 25 today. It's too much. I says, I'm wanting to do 10 a day. I'd rather do 10 a day over the week. But before you know it, I've done 25 mile. And it's actually tired. The next day I became ill. I was in my bed last night at about 6. Well, I was on 6. But no, the night before, I just felt terrible. My eyes are getting better, though.
All right. It's talking about. I thought you've both frozen for a moment then. Talking of eyes, I have got my cataract operation booked for April the 3rd.
All right.
Which is quite amazing.
Yeah.
One, it didn't take too long because I spoke to the consultant back in December. And the other thing is that April the 3rd is a Sunday.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Wow.
Exactly. But basically, they're now doing operations at the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So if you can't make it during the week, you can go on Saturday and Sunday. And obviously, the second part of this is obviously trying to clear a backlog. And the way they're doing it is working weekends. So my question is, do they get double time for that? In other words, do they get double pay for doing operations at the weekend? But I'm just ever so grateful that they're actually doing it. We're going to Gloucester, which is about an hour and a half away from Devizes, and the operation told only takes 10 minutes. And all I can say is I'm looking forward to April the 5th, when I've had 48 hours of recovery and I will be able to see again. Because you don't know how bad your sight is until you get it back again. So
mine's just getting worse. Well, it's great to see that. You see, this is where they can, if they do a 7-day service, they can actually get other doctors in to do a rolling pattern. But the problem is, some GP said, no, I'm a family man, or I only work Monday to Friday, you know?
Yeah.
And at the weekends, I work for the private sector. I make more money. It's a difficult one, you know, because do you know what worries me? When they come in and say to me, no, Peter, your men are going on football. That's men that work for me. They're going on a 4-day week for the same money. Oh, really? What do you do there? Well, all my men are part-time anyway. And then if they do more hours, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
But they've all working 40 hours. They've all basically. So what do you do? But you need them. I mean, Andy would work until he dropped. If they stop, I'm working that guy. Stop! But if a 4-day week comes in, I just wonder, because people aren't going to wait if it's Thursday. They're not going to, for my type of business, they're not going to wait till Monday all that time. They'll go elsewhere. So it's a very difficult situation.
And just to pick up on your NHS versus private medicine, the operation is being carried out by New Medica, who are a private corporation.
Ah, right.
And in addition to that, they were handed, or I was handed over to them by my doctor and optician, and I'm in their care now until
Right.
such time as I'm released back to my own doctor and optician. So
Make sure they've got medical insurance. I'm always looking.
I'm pretty sure they will have, Peter.
I don't want you waking up saying, "Where am I?"
No, I mean, there are literally millions of cataract operations carried out every year.
Yes,
so
I know. Well, you know, when I went in for my operation, I thought I was the only one in the world that was getting a triple heart bypass. But there's millions, and the woman said, I was really worried. She says, Peter, we do this every day. It happens every day. There's operations every day. Oh, right. I thought I was the only one. But, you know, I've seen me sitting in tears sometimes. I've seen, look it up on YouTube if you want the feel-good factor. People that have been deaf all their life, and then they get these things put in their ear, and they can hear people for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to, get it all out your system that day, go and watch that. And another thing, so what you're getting, Stephen, right? I think in Africa and all these countries where they're poor, there are people walking about with their eyes basically shut, well, covered.
Yes.
And they go, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. And I've watched that as well, getting the patches taken off, and they can see.
Yeah. Amazing.
Wow. Do you know, I would hate to be blind, and that's why I try and keep myself okay with diabetes. I would hate to be blind. I'd hate it. I'd rather be deaf.
Yeah, I'd rather we all stayed fit and healthy and can see and hear and have mobility, I think. Yeah. And losing weight is part of the course, John, when you're getting older. Just going to say.
Yes. And you don't need as much food. My brother-in-law's a doctor. He says, when you get older, you don't need the same food, Peter, you know. But I'll tell you what shocks me, the amount of people that know me in Aberdeen, like my friend who's just been pensioned off, he says, he come out with me one day and we was loading up singing kit to practice. And then I'm taking calls now. He says, Peter, you need to calm down. You need to slow down. I says, Deke, I've done it all my life. You know, my mind's always in the go thinking about this. And he says, you need to calm down. And then I'll go to the pub, and everybody in the pub knows that, by the way, folk, I don't drink, but I go to a pub. How about that? And everybody knows that, are you cycling in the morning? I goes, yeah. And how do you manage it? I says, get on a bike and turn your feet. Biggest regret is not doing cycling when I was younger. No, in my 30s. Big regret. Yeah.
Right. In other news, this is on the QT. Angelica is opening an Etsy shop.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah.
What's it selling?
It's actually selling. You like this? It's selling Trello boards. Trello, Trello.
I looked at Trello once. Is that to do with your management things and stuff like that?
Trello is whatever you make it. I mean, basically, what you're given is a clean sheet of paper and the ability to categorize things and
Yes.
display knowledge graphically is the best way to put it. And
Right.
Angelica's taken the courses that she's written books about and actually turned them into Trello boards.
Right.
So as a student, if you don't want to read a book, you can actually use a Trello board to learn German. Okay.
Right.
And
That'll be
Angelica will be selling the templates effectively.
okay.
And you buy the template, you make a copy of it, and then you can do a specific topic all about German. Yeah.
Very good. That's interesting. Well, let us know about that. Do you know one of the best things I've been doing recently? I told you this. I put my phone in my pocket and I hit a button. And before I know it, I joined Audible. But I've enjoyed it. And
Yeah.
I was listening to a book about the Second World War with all the operatives, the women, the stories, and it was very, very well read. And I just lay back, and helps me fall asleep. And I says, "No, where did I get to?" And I go back. It's fantastic, and you've no book to hold. I put these things on. Remember what things, Stephen?
Yeah.
The book conductors, and I lie back.
Aftershocks.
And just listen to, and it was well narrated. It was, you've got to like the reader. You've got to like the reader.
These, Peter.
Yes. Which you
Aftershocks.
can get on Amazon.
These are aftershocks.
You can get them on Amazon.live.
Yeah, indeed. Got the spiel. I can talk for a quarter of an hour about these.
That's good.
If I get into the stage now where I can talk for half an hour about any of the products in the carousel. Yeah.
Okay. And if you ever need me to come in again, I'm there. When my new gadgets.
Yeah, I did a show on Monday this week, and I hit a new high. I earned $90 for the show.
Wow.
Which is just for an hour and 20 minutes, which is more than $1 a minute, and I'll take that anytime.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
good.
Yeah, I'm very happy and
So
very
you're
chuffed
making,
with it.
but you don't have to tell us, but you're making quite a few shillings now, are you?
I'm quite happy. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm earning hundreds of dollars a month. I'm investing about a third in buying equipment. So I bought new camera, new microphone.
Yeah.
I've got new lighting that's on the way as well.
Right.
And I'm really enjoying it. It's great to do. And getting paid for, and then of course I'm actually teaching people how to do it through Be Live.
Oh.
So it's a win-win-win.
That's good. One thing I was telling you, right? I think I might have remembered my password for Facebook. I'm loath to shut the face, but I want you to check to me. Could you tell me if Pest Talk, if you're admins for it?
Yeah.
And also for your Aberkill Facebook, you're both on that as well.
Yeah, I am.
Because believe it or not, I've actually got another Peter Stewart page. I've got another Peter, and I keep seeing notifications, and I looked into it. So I'm just going to have to make sure. Then one day I'm going to have to make. So I'm not so worried about missing my personal page, right?
Yeah.
I'll put out. I'll keep it open and put out and say I've moved to here, and then I'll get the stuff back, and I will do something. Never to lose passwords again. Dude, my none. Password rage.
There are so many tools you can use. It's not true.
Yeah. Make a list and say, it's horrible. Yeah.
No,
any latest news from the place? From Kiev? Any news from Kiev?
Let's go over to Guardian first of all. I'm going to refresh the page on the Guardian.
Okay.
And the main story is still the same. And out to BBC and BBC. Just first major city falls. And that's
okay. The latest on the BBC's live reporting is Merkel or Z could broker a solution.
Who could?
Merkel, old Ange.
I thought she was put to bed. So she's retired.
Well, it's just a suggestion from the Duma.
Merkel or Z could broker a solution, ex-Putin supporter.
Yeah. Whether it's reality or not remains to be seen, but
What do you think about Abramovich talking football here? With what he's going to do with the money? Because he's a Putin friend, isn't he?
Yeah, but is he Russian?
Sorry?
Is he Russian?
Yeah, so was everybody who was born in Ukraine before 1992.
Yeah.
He's actually an Israeli. He travels on an Israeli passport.
Yes, so every Jewish person has the right to become an Israeli. So that's an interesting one. You know?
He's also got a Portuguese passport as well.
Is he? So I think a lot of the Jewish people, correct me if I'm wrong, their loyalty is to Israel. Am I right?
Well, he says all the profits from the sale will go to support Ukrainians. So be interesting to see what happens. And that's a bold statement to make if you're supposedly Putin's friend.
Yeah. Now listen, if there's MDNB live, come in and join us. Wouldn't that be great? Are you listening? Come in.
I think they're probably a bit busy at the moment, Peter.
Yeah. I just can't believe. Now, is this coming from Kyiv?
Basically, it is coming from Kyiv, yeah.
Wow. Or is it on Amazon?
So it's coming. Well, I just can't believe it. How they managed to keep it. If there's anybody from there, come in, speak to us. I'd love that.
Maybe somebody watching.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, if anybody from the team wants to join us live next week, then you're more than welcome to do so. Just a point, as you can see from the photograph up above, which is live, we are live on the internet on a web page provided by onestream.live.
I've got to look at it.
You just go to stephenhealy.onestream.live, and that's it. On the left-hand side, you can see the title and description. There's a button to go straight over to Amazon. There's my Facebook and YouTube and Twitter links on the right-hand side, and even an email address. And if you click on the email address, you can send me an email.
Wow. Right.
Live right now, provided by OneStream, who are helping us to broadcast today.
Which is good. The other thing to tell, this guy has got a thing called Linkaroo. Do you remember that link tree?
I remember Linktree. I've still got mine somewhere.
This is Linkaroo, right? And it's £3 a month. And you go up, and instead of changing cards, here it is here, right? Just look at a picture.
Hang on, Peter. Okay, yeah.
So Linkaroo gives you all you put everything in that you have to do, website, etc., your social media, contact number, and all. You get a card as well, and you just go to someone's phone. Here's all my details. Bang, in. And it's called linkaroo.me if you want to have a look at that. Yeah. So, but have you ever used your other one, Stephen? Yeah,
Linktree. I had the paid version of Linktree.
Right.
But I couldn't think of anything to do with it. Right. I now can, but that was sort of 6 months, 9 months ago. So I'll take the one you're using, Peter, definitely.
Link. I mean, I met the guy yesterday, and it's typical. You meet somebody, and he says, "I've just installed review." He says, "I can do more than that." He says, "I can put your testimonials out to Facebook, and I can put them out to Google, and not only that, they belong to you because as long as you're using review.io, it's stuck in their system." So you have to watch all these sorts of things. Because guess how much they want. If I get Google reviews from it, we'll be getting good. Mm-hmm. But if I want to go and put the Google review thing in it, it's another 29 quid a month.
Ouch. Right, so, John, have you noticed something about the screen share above us?
Well, it's sort of
perpetual.
It's not gone picture in picture, has it?
no.
No.
It's not. It has not gone picture in picture, which is weird. Yeah, it isn't picture in picture. It's actually
Still
a
Peter.
live picture.
And now it's going picture in picture. Look, it's just time delay, isn't it?
Oh, right, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Could you put a big screen then? Or you wouldn't see that.
Just let me. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to share again,
Okay.
and then we've got a clean share. And just give me a second. So I'm going over to screen share and go to the Chrome tab. Okay, and go to there. Share. And now I'm going to bring it up on screen. And now I'm going to put it full screen, Peter.
Okay.
Okay. And I think the reason why it works so well is obviously the actual video player itself is not, well, it's not big, is it? It's watchable, but it's not big. Yeah. And the thing is that you can have that facility. You can actually, I mean, there's no coding involved in this. This is not an embed. This is just pick your background color, put your text in, and it's live straight away. You've got 4 different designs to choose from, and you can go live on the web. Just need to broadcast into one stream, which is what we are doing this morning, and everything's taken care of.
See the one you had before, Stephen, that you go on live within your own website. Are you still doing that one?
So the same one.
That's the same one.
Yep.
The one
It's just a different. The OneStream.live.
Remember, I bought one, and you were going to interview me live on my webpage at some time.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that to happen, but
Yeah,
yes,
the same one.
I think it's the same one. OneStream VI Loud.
VLoud.
Oh, VLoud, yeah. Okay.
You still use that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's because I was looking at researchers, people go into it. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Is Be Live a Ukrainian company or an Israeli company?
Be Live is an Israeli company, John.
All right. Okay.
Because looking at its terms and conditions, it's bound by the laws of Israel.
Israel,
right.
Yeah.
It is an Israeli company. They moved the engine all the years ago now. Back in ancient times, they moved the whole engineering over to Ukraine. Originally,
Guys,
it wasn't. Yeah.
It's time. I'll have to go.
Oh,
well. It is. John, it's over to you.
Have you seen the latest news about two items about Manchester United?
No.
To get rid of the managers in the last 8.5 years since Sir Alex retired, compensation paid out is £43.8 million.
Wow.
You could nearly buy the whole Burnley team for that.
The new favourite for manager after Rangnick finishes at the end of the year is Carlo Ancelotti.
Ooh.
No. It's like a merry-go-round, isn't it? They're all swapping from one place to another.
Now, I'll tell you quickly, then I'll have to sit you. 2 traps have been done. Trap was activated in the third 3-3, 22, 10:33. No catch detected. So we know there's been no catch in it, but it's went off for some reason. Interesting, huh? That's the way things are going. Anyway, back to you, John.
Well, it's time for us to go, I believe. 11:01, so it's goodbye from him down there, or he's below me on this anyway, who's really up there in Scotland. Him over there, who's in Wiltshire, so he's really down below. And we'll all be back next week, same time, same place, for 300 and what is it? 17 next week?
Yeah.
So goodbye.
Bye.
And take care in Kiev.